Hello and welcome to Tracy Momi Reads. This week I'm going to do another episode of Questions with the Booktuber. I think I did it last year, probably around this time, so we are well overdue. So I'm just going to basically ask myself a few questions that I'm sure a lot of you are curious about. Then I'll answer those questions to just give you a little bit more insight about the type of person I am, the type of book lover I am, the type of book reader I am, and things of that nature. So without further ado, the first question, do you like love triangles? Yes or no? No. I do not like love triangles. I never really have, even though, some of the books that I've read, I'm trying to think. I mean, there's been a few like just standalone books where maybe there was another person and, they kind of had to work through some relationship issues, but it was never anything as serious as what was happening like in the Twilight books with Team Jacob, Team Edward, or in the Hunger Game books with Peeta. And I know the girl was Katniss. I didn't read those series, but I did see the movies, but I can't think of the other person's name. But yeah, typically, I mean, if the couple is going to have some challenges, whatever they may be, I'm kind of here for that and how they work through that and, ultimately come together. Because if it's a love story, I need a good happily ever after in some way, shape, or form. But all that going back and forth between, this person and that person, nah. I'm not really a big fan. Book you just couldn't finish. Oh, The Family Fang. Oh my God. Yeah, that book. It's actually a movie, I hear, and starring Jason Bateman. It's kind of older, like maybe 3 to 5 years, maybe. And I really, really like Jason Bateman. So maybe the movie will do better, but the book was just too quirky. I just could not get into it. It's about this family. I don't know if they were performance artists or what their deal was, but no. The blurb sounded really interesting, but once I got to reading it, it was too out there for me. Let's see. Can you read while listening to music? No. I find it to be too distracting because I actually love music. So even if it's just like an instrumental tune playing in the background, I'll find myself like, what is that? What's that song? Or, oh, that horn sounds good. Or, oh, listen to that, the drummer or whatever. Like, I'm really trying to like get into the music, and don't let it be like actual music that I like or listen to. I'm like over here doing the whole video and the book is just totally forgotten about. So I like silence when I'm reading. Let's see. Do you like one or multiple points of view? No more than like 2 points of view, I think, is good, because you don't want it to start getting too confusing. But I kind of like to know what the other characters are thinking. So, and especially like if it's like a love story or something, similar to that, you get everything from this one person's perspective. But, even if it's unintentional, sometimes the author may kind of make this person justified in their actions or whatever. But when you have another person's side of the story, you could see how maybe what this person is doing is being viewed over here. So, I mean, I'm cool with multiple points of view. Just like I said, no more than 2. 3 may be pushing it, but 3 might work for me. Let's see. Books that made you laugh out loud. People I Want to Punch in the Throat by Jen Mann. Oh my God. That book, I read it a while ago, like when my kids were still really small, and I could relate so much to what she was talking about, just kind of going through the paces of motherhood and the whole school and PTA hierarchy and neighborhood stuff. And it was hilarious. Yeah, that was one of the most recent. I mean, there's been other books where like, oh, there's a funny moment and you go, ha, because maybe the author caught you off guard with a particular line or something, weird that the character did. But like consistently, like almost giggle snorting throughout, People I Want to Punch in the Throat. Favorite trope? For me, I love a good enemies to lovers or a good friends to lovers. Enemies to lovers, I just really enjoy just seeing the tension between characters who ultimately realize they have more in common, or that tension was just a little, unresolved sexual tension, or them trying to fight their feelings. And then I also like sometimes the kind of clueless, if it's not too just overdone, but like the clueless people who from the beginning everybody around them could see y'all belong together, and they don't get it until like something happens, or maybe when the other person's about to get with somebody else and they like, oh my God, but I love you. Yeah, I'm cheesy. I love that kind of stuff. A book you didn't want to end. Oh my God, 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I could still be reading that book. Like if she was putting out a chapter a week or whatever, I would still be following that story. I was just so like low-key sad when it came to an end. It had a good ending, but I wanted more. I just wanted to keep reading about, what was going on between the two of them. That's the mark of a really good writer. Let's see. Would you rather live in a library or a bookstore? This is hard because obviously they both have books, so it's a win-win. But I would probably choose a library because not only do they have older titles, probably a lot more older titles than a bookstore, they also have some new releases, some newer titles, and they have computers. So, if you wanted to go online and do something, you could take a break from reading or whatever. You have the internet and the computers there available. Would you rather be stuck on a long plane ride or train ride without a book? Plane ride, definitely, because I try to go to sleep on the plane. I would like to go to sleep and wake up and like have the pilot saying we're making our descent into your destination city or place or whatever. So yeah, I think a plane ride, I if I didn't have a book, I'd be okay. Let's see. What is your current read, your last read, and the book that you will be reading next? Atlas of the Heart by Brene Brown is up on my, coming up on my list to be read. I've already kind of started it. The last book I read was The Stranger in the Lifeboat by Mitch Albom. And after Atlas of the Heart, fingers crossed, I'm going to try to get into Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. But I know I've talked about this on, the channel before. Sometimes it just really depends on my mood. I have that slated as the next book, but I may read something in Atlas of the Heart that, changes my mind. She might reference a book or reference something that makes me go, I want to check that out. I want to read that. So I'm not going to lock myself in, but, perfect situation, that will be my next book. Kind of getting back to maybe like some mystery and suspense. So anyway, that is it for Questions with the Booktuber. I hope that gave you some insight to who I am, how I am, and, the things that I kind of like to read and my behaviors around reading. I will hopefully be able to put a big dent into Atlas of the Heart so that this time next week that I could potentially be doing a review about it. And if not, I have other stuff that we could talk about. I can keep you engaged. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you like this video, leave a comment if you so desire, and please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.